Way back, before he first held a golf club in his hands, Paul Voykin wanted to be a forest ranger. Soon after first playing golf, he heard a talk by Ben Hogan. Said the Hawk, "Golf is the only business where you don't have to be a millionaire to live like one." So forest ranger was out. But Voykin didn't stray from his hope to work outdoors, and then in the game. A native of Canada, he and his brother Peter found apprentice jobs working on the golf course in Jasper National Park. Soon after, Paul found his way across the border and to Olympia Fields to become an assistant superintendent. He went up the street to Calumet as the head man 3 years later, and 4 years following that, arrived at Briarwood Country Club in Deerfield.
When I first met him, I thought he was tough. After a while, he's a teddy bear, and you start to see that soft side of him all the time. I met with him daily, worked with him for 25 years, grew to love him. He's a very nice person. I'm really proud of him.
It was there that Paul Voykin led the charge to return areas of golf courses, the most pampered grounds on earth, back to nature. It was about 40 years ago when Voykin made his ideas known. He was a decade into his job at Briarwood. He stayed there for 47 and a half years before retiring in 2008. And he didn't see that mowing every last bit of ground made a whole lot of sense. He took an area of Briarwood he called scraggly, one off the beaten path, and let the grass grow. Voykin's elephant grass, the members call it, but they went along. He added areas. Butterflies returned, and where some thought weeds would grow, wildflowers returned. Briarwood became a leader in the Return to Nature movement, and Voykin its spokesman. In 1971, he spoke to 600 turf experts at a USGA seminar in New York. "Don't mow so much," he said. People stared. Eventually, they began to catch on. Voykin's influential article noting the economic benefits in a 1974 issue of Golf Digest let everyone know.
He definitely took a leap, kind of put himself out there, and while everybody else was going towards finer manicuring of the golf courses and making everything green and look so delicate, and he was kind of going the opposite way, realizing that at some point things were going to kind of come to an end and golf courses were going to have to go back the other direction because it was going to get too expensive, and also the environment, going to be too many impacts on the environment.
We can let some of the areas grow a little shaggy, a little hippie, and still have a great golf course, Voykin said. It's becoming too expensive to maintain 160 acres like our own backyards. Voykin, decades ahead of his time, also called for less use of chemicals on courses. We'll have more native crops growing again on our courses. Native prairie grasses, thistles, strawberry plants. When you get right down to it, what's wrong with that? The overwhelming answer has turned out to be nothing. Voykin's back-to-nature notion spread far and wide. The catchphrase, "over-grooming is overspending," likely helped some club committees commit to the concept. But the beauty that resulted from what Paul called the kaleidoscope of color to the wildlife it attracts was the real prize.
What Paul has brought to the membership of this club is someone they could confide in, someone they could talk to about what their views were. He would address them, and he made this place a wonderful place to come to each and every day, and has made our membership thrive.
Now, Voykin could not have succeeded without a loyal staff, including Mo Sanchez, who came on board in 1964 and is still at Briarwood. Along the way, Paul Voykin wrote a pair of books on lawn care. A Perfect Lawn the Easy Way sold 50,000 copies. And in 2003, was named the Superintendent of the Year by the Golf Course Superintendents Association of America.
Paul has given basically his life to the game of golf and continues to do so. He still cares about it very much. And that this hall honor is just an extension of what he's done and what he continues to do.
Curiously, Voykin has always used another title, the one that harkens back to the days of the gutta percha ball and the baffy. He's a greenkeeper. Boy, is he.